real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Jim Rhodes frequented his local bar for 25 years, and after the defendant purchased the bar, a lot of the regulars were unhappy. Jim says the defendant broke the #1 bar owner rule by spreading rumors around town about her patron's affairs, and Jim is suing her today for the balance on a loan. Defendant Kelly Brown says Jim is an obnoxious drunk who doesn't know when to shut his mouth. Kelly says the defendant often demeans women, and she once slapped him after he called her a degrading name. Kelly refuses to pay Jim because she claims he breached their agreement.
Start with you.
Well, come from a small town, and I grew up in that town, and I frequent the bar quite often, and I have for the last 25 years. And
How often is that?
well, 4 times a week, I guess.
Okay.
It's just a real small town. So,
All right.
So, got along with all the bar owners and everything all the time. And then Kelly came over, and she bought the bar, which nobody really knew her around town. She's kind of a stranger in town, and which that's okay. Then
You all were mad because you couldn't get any more free drinks?
yeah, kind of.
You got a new owner in town. She's not giving away free drinks.
Yeah, that's
So
maybe
you
a
all
little
get
bit.
bent out of shape. Go ahead.
No, mostly it's kind of, she broke the #1 rule of being a bar owner, I think.
What's that?
What you hear in a bar should stay in the bar instead of spreading it around to other people, friends. When people leave, you know, if you hear something about so-so's wives messing around with Mr. So-so's, you know, husband, or vice versa, and that should be kept quiet, kind of, instead of just spreading ugly rumors.
They
like
do a
that.
lot of that in the small town there?
Yes, they do.
They do.
True or not?
A lot of
it's just all
husbands
about it.
being mixed up with the wives of others.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I think it goes on everywhere a little bit around bars.
No, you act like it happens a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Didn't where I used to go.
No?
Nope.
Wrong bar.
Most men didn't know the wives of their buddies who were at the bar. So
Yeah.
a lot of fighting go on in that bar.
Oh, there's a few scuffles here
I'm
and there.
sure you all either
It's
making
pretty
up
rowdy.
rumors or actually involved in that manner. Yeah, there's going to be some fights, I would assume.
Yeah, there's a lot of beer drinking, tequila drinking. And then you're supposed to behave yourself after that, you know.
Really, right.
Yeah.
Plaintiff Jim Rhodes is suing his former friend, who claims Jim is an obnoxious drunk who often demeans women.
We're going to get to the loan you made to her allegedly, but
Yeah.
I'm just interested. You're making a point of describing the activities in your town, in pretty small town. You getting many fights?
Well, I wasn't very good at fighting, you know. It'd be a one-punch deal.
Okay, well, did you get
I was
beat
a
up
loser.
often?
That's it. I'd run my mouth, and then they'd hit me, and that'd be about it.
All right, go ahead. Let me hear from you, man.
Jim, he's got a drinking problem. He 4 days a week, I would say, is probably not quite enough. I've seen him drink 12, 18 beers. Yeah, he gets in fights a lot because he doesn't know when to shut his mouth. But you know, Jimmy gets loud, he gets obnoxious, and he fancies himself as quite the ladies' man, you know. And he'll walk into the bar, and after a few, you know, he pats himself on. Chicks dig me, you know.
Do they?
No, they don't. They don't. I don't. No one does.
Did things change once you purchased the bar?
You know, our first 3 years were pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
All right, let me hear about the loan. You're suing for $2,600. Tell me about it.
Well, we got along pretty good, actually. You know, we don't hate each other or anything like that.
We don't?
So, no.
No. He's got a habit of belittling women, and that's my issue with Jimmy. He's called me the worst name that anybody could ever call a woman, and he was so drunk, I slapped him. And I slapped him as hard as I could. And he turns to the guy sitting next to him and he says, "What'd she do that for?" Huh? He's got no clue.
He doesn't do that to men.
No.
Speak to them in demeaning ways.
Well, yes, he does, but not like that. I mean, there's only so many things you can call a man, you know. But there's a few words you can call a woman, and it's pretty bad.
All right. Sir, tell me about the loan.
Okay. Well, she come to my house
When?
May of 2010.
What happened?
And she wanted, the bar was going downhill pretty good. And she asked if she could borrow $3,000.
When did she say she would repay it?
Like within a year.
All right. Has she repaid?
She made 2 payments.
When?
$200 a piece.
When?
It was on August, she paid $200. In October, she
All
paid
right,
$200.
ma'am, what do you say to this?
I don't think I owe him the money. I mean, we had an agreement, you know, and the agreement was, and it was Jim's idea. The agreement was confidential, and within a couple weeks, couple weeks, there were people coming in talking to me about borrowing money from him, you know, and it was his deal. Nobody needs to know anybody else's business, and
You feel that was part of the agreement?
that was part of the agreement.
Sir?
No, it wasn't part of the agreement. She loved me when I gave her the money. It's just like huggy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the best. Thank
Yeah, that's not
you.
what
So-
we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you saying we're going to keep this quiet. We're not going to tell anyone.
Maybe, yeah, to a point, a little bit.
What's that?
A little bit. I don't know. I don't recall that actually.
Why you say a little bit?
Cause,
You must have recalled it a little bit.
yeah, a little bit. I didn't promise to keep my mouth shut about it. I think she.
What do you think we're talking about, sir? I'm getting impatient with your ways that appear to be that of a drunk. You seem to be talking to me like a drunk.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, talking about a little bit. I didn't do it. Well, I promised to keep my mouth shut. You want to speak, sir?
Well, I can guarantee you, Your Honor, I don't drink.
All right.
The only thing I have to testify, Your Honor, is the town we live in is only 5 blocks by 5 blocks. I was with Mr. Rhodes 2 separate occasions when we attempted to talk with her about making further payments, and
No,
she
you
would set us another day. We was actually at the country store, so I just told Jim, I said, we need to file a law claim. One day we seen her husband driving by from the bar. They had closed it at that point. I said, oh, Jim, let's get a stop bill, see if they're going to be doing any payments. Well, as soon as he seen us, he stepped on the gas. His paint fell out the back of the truck. I turned the corner and only went 2 houses, picked up all the paint, only went 2 houses. Truck door was open, but nobody was home. So,
Nobody answers the door when you guys come.
Jim Rhodes is suing his former friend, who claims Jim is an obnoxious drunk who often demeans women.
Ma'am, in August, when you gave the $200, had he already breached the confidentiality?
Yes.
Yet you gave him the $200 anyway.
Yes, I did.
All right, so you waived your right to defend yourself based on that because you did it anyway. Then you can't then later say, well, that's my defense. Couldn't have been your defense
he
then
did.
because you paid him. $2,600 for the plaintiff. She alleges that there was a confidentiality breach, but yet she pays you anyway. Please don't take this money to the bar. I'm starting to believe her about your drinking problem and based on your behavior today. $2,600 for the plaintiff.
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still friends. You
I
know.
didn't think so in court, but we only live in a small town and we don't have room to hate everybody. When you
Well,
only have
it's-
5 blocks by
It
5
ain't really
blocks.
any of your business anyway, Red, so.
I'll tell you how it became my
You-
business. I made Jimmy collect from me because he wasn't going to do it, and I insisted.